Well, I met Jarrell while I was in school. We went to the same college. And he was studying for culinary arts and me as a medical assistant. And as soon as we met, we hit it off, you know? Mm-hmm. We made a perfect chemistry, a perfect connection, and at the beginning, everything was good.
Can I say this? There is no such thing as love at first sight, perfect connection. You know what I mean? If it was perfect, you wouldn't be here. Now, what it is, there is such a thing as lust at first sight. There is such a thing as hot and bothered right away. There is such a thing as, God, don't I want to go over there? And your hormones are talking to his hormones and they, woo, chatting it up. But you don't really know, you can't really, you know, soul to soul, heart to heart, mind to mind somebody with a peak. Just saying, go right ahead.
So we started dating right soon after we met. Sorry, I'm so nervous.
That's okay. Take your time. Don't worry about it. You moved in together. How long? Let me help you out.
Sure.
You met, had an instant attraction, then you moved in together. How long between the time that you met and the time you moved in together? How long was that?
We dated first for like a year and a half.
Uh-huh.
And after that, we started, he moved in with me.
Once you moved in together, difficulties arose. Is that accurate?
Yes, because he got fired from his job 6 months after he had moved in. And I started asking him for money, you know, because he wasn't...
Were you working?
Yes, I was working. I was paying all the bills.
Now, you know, people do get fired, right? You know, do you believe that he didn't look for more work once he was fired? I mean...
Well, he had a knee injury. So then for a while, he couldn't, like, look for a job. But I don't understand why he wasn't looking for a job. He said that at school, that he couldn't find a job as a chef or none of that. So I don't know what was going on.
Mr. Thompson, why don't you tell me how things transpired once you found yourself unemployed?
Yes, Your Honor. When I found myself unemployed, it was one of the worst tragedies that I had to deal with. Having to go through tearing my knee and not being able to move again when I was somebody who was dancing, acting, singing, going ahead and participating in culinary arts, having a side gig of having a catering business. And Erica knows everything that I went through. And as far as being emotionally supportive, she wasn't there. She was not there.
You know the man tore up his knee, right?
Yes, I understand that, but he had enough time to recover. I don't understand why he couldn't find a job.
Okay. How long did it take your knee to recover?
Right now, I'm still in recovery.
But you can stand up.
I can stand up, but as of right now, I still have calcium on my bone as of right now, and it's still not where it needs to be.
Is it so jacked up you can't work?
No. It's not to the point where it's jacked up where I can't work. It's just the amount of hours that, as a chef, you need to stand up that I can actually not go ahead and participate in working.
Now, there are other things you can do, you know. Even though it's not within your chosen field, you can still bring in money doing something that may not tickle your fancy, but it will pay your bills.
That is correct, Your Honor.
And I think that's her concern.
Yes.
Okay. So the good times began to erode once you hurt yourself.
Correct.
Okay. Tell me what was going on in the household.
What was going on in the house is that, I mean, me and Erica started off, she's the love of my life, Your Honor. Now, when my knee injury arose, we were going ahead, everything was fine, going to the jazz festivals, I was providing, we were both providing for each other.
Right.
And now that I'm in this predicament, Erica went from being the foxy diva that I met into being somebody who just became just a lackadaisical cadaver. I mean, she didn't...
Cadaver?
She didn't...
I mean, not a lazy bum, a cadaver.
Just cadaver.
What was she not doing? Can you describe a day of...
I have a list. It was
cadaver-like
everything.
behavior?
Just cadaver. Just, I mean, she wouldn't, it went
You
from
were lazy.
her... it went from her not doing anything. I mean, that I would come home, the house was meticulous. She would make sure everything was in its place. If I would move it, it would be a problem. And now, since we're going through what we're going through, I mean, even the sex is not even where it needs to be. I mean, we went from being fox and rabbit to being a dead animal on the road. You know what I mean? You know,
You know, you could always try taxidermy. You seem to be leaning in that direction. Are you saying that once you became unemployed, she stopped actively participating in the running of the household? Is that what I'm hearing?
Yes, that is correct. I mean, it just wasn't there. I tried to show her my appreciation and be there for her emotionally, spiritually, physically.
That doesn't pay bills, though.
It doesn't. It may not pay bills, but when you try to do that and you go ahead and I'm here kissing her, and then she burps. That's disgusting. You know what I mean? Where is the passion? Where is the fact that I'm trying to be there for you and I may not have the money?
Ms. Patel, when somebody goes through a traumatic situation and they lose his job and they lose their identity in part, especially for a guy, don't you feel that there's some compassion needed there? That, like if you were to fall down and break something and can't work, wouldn't you expect him not to be angry about the lack of money, but to be caring about the pain of the injury?
Yes, I understand, and I give him 3 months for that. It's like, how long do you need to recover? I don't understand. I need to pay the bills, and I was the one running. I'm still the one running. Well, he's not living with me anymore, but I was paying for everything, and care, concern, loving, all that doesn't pay for bills.
So this case starts off with just your typical relationship issues. You've got the unemployment, the money issues, and divorce is one of the biggest issues with divorce. Tends to always lean towards money. If there's not infidelity or whatever, money is a big problem in marriage. But I have to say, in this situation, hardship happens. And when you get married or you're in a relationship and you're committing to somebody, you have to understand that you're making a vocal commitment that you will be with them and serve each other through thick and thin, highs and lows, sickness and health. And in this situation, I don't feel like she is the one that's fully diving into that commitment she made. Because, he got injured and you gave him 3 months, whatever, to recover. And yes, he could totally go and get a job doing something else. But I have a really weird question here that I'm trying to understand. How is it that he's doing all this dancing and performing, but then wants to go to culinary arts school and somehow manages to injure his knee so bad that he can't work? There's something going on with this dude that's not really making sense here, I guess, if you really want to be blunt about it. I feel like there's going to be more information coming out about this guy as to really truly what is the problem with this relationship from her perspective, not just about him not having a job, because that type of stuff comes and goes. If you're going to be married, you're going to have to realize that it's not always going to be butterflies and roses. You know what I'm saying? So what do you guys think about this? Do you think that she's being a little too harsh and should allow him to basically live rent-free and recover fully? Or do you think that it's true? 3 months is enough time and it's time for him to get his booty cheeks into gear and start working any job just to bring in some money?
I understand that in your effort to, again, provide for the household, your career took an interesting turn. Could you please explain to me what happened and why?
Yes, Your Honor. As a result of my injury and with my past experiences of being a dancer, singer, and actor, I went through tough times of going through physical therapy, going through mental changes, having to go for psychiatric therapy, not having the support of what I wanted to be my fiance, not having her there. I had to make initiatives on my own to go ahead and make sure that I was okay first and then I could provide for my family. And what ended up happening was I was on an internet website, and after looking at that internet website, I saw that there was a makeup tutorial. I went ahead and watched it onto how to properly prepare your face to become a female impersonator. Upon going ahead and doing the female impersonation, I went ahead one night to a club, and when I went to that club, it took me about 3 months to learn how to do my makeup, learning how to carve my face in a way that I could actually portray that persona. I went ahead and I did that. I was coming home at night with makeup on my face, lipstick. I mean, I would tell Erica now that it wasn't Broliner. It was actually me coming home from a rough day
Now,
of work.
did you tell her that you were that you had chosen to be a female impersonator, or kind of you just kind of doing it on the DL?
It was on the DL. I did not tell Erica what was going on.
Why not?
Because I knew her judgment and the way that she's acting, which has brought us here, she wouldn't be supportive of the reason why I chose that.
But to me, and I don't know her like you know her, but to me, all she was looking for was some money. So however you brought that in, I would believe that she would be supportive of that. Is there something in your communication or in your understanding of her that led you to believe that female impersonator would not have been cool with her?
She's crazy, Your Honor. She's crazy. When she did
Well,
find
let's
out.
ask her. Ms. Padilla, do you have a problem with him being a female impersonator as a means by which to finance the household?
No, I don't. But when he's hiding it from me, it's like I feel he's this strange person that I don't know.
Why wouldn't you say, look, babe, look what lengths I'm going through to bring money in the household?
I couldn't tell her that, Your Honor, because when I told her that, I ended up coming home one night to find my clothes outside and having pots and pans being thrown at me having to dodge it left and right because she wasn't happy with what I was doing.
Did you throw pots at him?
Yes, I
Including
did.
my size 14 heel.
Why?
Guys, we gotta stop it right here. What the heck is going on? This case took a turn that I didn't expect. First of all, size 14 heel, this dude's got some big old feet. I mean, really? There's some stuff going on here. If he's got some big feet, you know, those heels are big. Now, I want to ask a question, and I don't mean to sound ignorant, but is there a difference between female impersonator and a drag queen? Like, is he going and doing drag stuff at a club, or is he just walking around pretending to be a chick and then asking men for money and trying to make money that way? I mean, like, what exactly is a female impersonator, and how is it different than being a drag queen? I really want to know. The other thing is if he's making money doing this, and that tells me that he's going and performing, and that's fine. If he wants to go and perform as a drag queen or female impersonator, that is fine. If that's what he wants to do, that's fine. But here's the thing. If you're going to hide it from your, wife, who's already questioning your ability to show up as a man, and then you reveal to her later and she finds out that not only are you not showing up financially for her as she wants as a man, but you're now showing up for her financially by pretending to be a woman. That is a whole nother level of what the heck is going on here. So I feel like in this situation, he's acting like it's not a big deal. And in reality, if she's okay with it, it's really not a big deal. The problem is that you're hiding it and you're lying about it. And that then makes me wonder, what else are you hiding? What else are you not sharing with her about who you are? That's a really good question that we all need to be asking here.
Yeah.
Do we have a picture of you doing your job?
Look at that.
That's a lot of work you put in there. Did you throw pots and pans at him?
Yes, because
Why?
he's telling me that he can't work because of his knee. But look, he's walking in 14-inch heels, or 6-inch heels, my bad. And he's like dancing around. And, what's the excuse? I don't understand. No, you're lying to me.
Well, was he making good money?
He was giving me money for bills. He
I'd have put
was.
the pots down. First of all.
No, but he lied to me.
But no, first of all, you can't assault people. Male or female, you can't go around assaulting people. You can't hit, you can't throw, you can't punch,
And
none
she
of
can't
that.
cook.
Ain't none of that cool on
That's
any
what I
way,
had you
shape,
for,
or
to
form.
cook.
But what I'm saying is if the money was good, what was your issue?
That he lied to me. When I first asked him how was he getting the money, he started telling me that he was shooting pool, that he was winning off of bets and all this stuff. He could have been honest.
But do
with me.
you have a problem with the drag thing?
No, I don't. But
Okay.
he could have told
You
me.
had a problem with the lie.
Yes, I had a
got
problem
it.
with the lie.
I got you.
So here's the thing. This guy is a drag queen. I wouldn't say a female impersonator. That's maybe a way to, like, I don't know. If you're scared to say drag queen, maybe that's what you say. But here's the thing, guys. The wife is 100% correct in how she feels here. Now, she shouldn't have thrown pots and pans, maybe. But the thing is that this is so true. If your knee is injured, then why the heck are you going around doing dancing and pretending to be a girl on stage for money? Because at the end of the day, this now tells me that maybe you've been doing this for a lot longer and it's not just a new thing. Because if you injured your knee, maybe you injured your knee because you're wearing size 14 heels and your feet are too big, and they don't make heels for people with foot sizes that big. And so they're just not good at balancing. And so you injured your knee. I feel like in this situation, he's not being honest about more things. I think there's more that we have yet to uncover about really what's going on for him. And this tells me that she's going to find out soon in this courtroom what might actually be going on here. And boy, I really don't know how she's going to react, but I feel like it's going to be a problem.
Mr. Thompson, you told me that you lied to her because you didn't believe that she would accept what you were doing. I am going to question that. I'm going to ask you this very pointed question, and I want you to give me the best answer think about it before you. Were you lying about what you were doing, or were you lying about who you were?
I would say that I was lying about what I was doing, and who I was.
Okay. Now, she knows what happened at the club, right?
Yes.
I'm going to introduce Mr. Ramsey Montanez.
Yes.
Mr. Montanez, are you here? How are you,
Yes,
sir?
I am.
Oh my God.
I'm judging yourself.
I'm well. Mr. Montanez, tell me when and how you met Mr. Thompson.
I met Mr. Thompson roughly a year ago at a nightclub where he was performing as a drag queen.
Uh-huh. And what kind of relationship do you have with him?
At the moment, emotional and physical relationship.
Such a liar. Oh my God.
If you were doing
You're
what you were
gay?
supposed
Dude,
to be
you're
doing,
gay?
we wouldn't have this problem.
No. We're not gonna go down there. First of all, whether gay, straight, or otherwise, the response, if you were doing what you were supposed to do, I wouldn't have cheated on you, is never appropriate. That is a conversation that you have.
You
If
couldn't
you are
tell me
committed
this?
to someone in any way, shape, or form, you have a conversation about your relationship. You do not step out on it. And if after the conversation and effort that relationship does not repair, then you move on, but you do not go on the DL.
The judge is 1000% correct here. Now, look, I get it. You feel like you're not getting what you want in a relationship, so you do some stupid stuff. But the thing that's really strange here is that doesn't really work out. Because not only are you stepping out on your relationship, you're stepping out and going and doing stuff with another dude. So that tells me that it has nothing to do with her and her lack thereof, and has everything to do with you and you not loving who you are and accepting who you are. And so you live in a lie and you're going on the DL. So the thing is this. If you're going to go do that, I'm not going to sit here and say that you can and can't do whatever. But you have to have a conversation with her and let her know what's going on. So that way she can be aware and make better decisions, because it puts her severely at risk and in a very dangerous position when you're going and doing stuff outside of your relationship. I feel like, I feel for her. He's not only going outside of a relationship and cheating on her, but he's also going outside of the relationship and cheating on her in a DL way, and then lying about who he is and what he's doing and not telling her. So she's just out there not knowing what's going on. And if you think that the reason why your mattress polo life is going downhill, let me tell you, it's most likely because you're doing this type of stuff than actually what she's doing and wishing that you could bring in some money.
Mr. Thompson, why don't you tell me how this relationship with Mr. Montanez arose?
We were at the club, I was performing, and at one point I just reached my limit. I could no longer take what Erica was doing to me, showing her carelessness, not being there to support me in my time of need, knowing that I'm going to school, I'm trying my best to do whatever I can to provide. And for me, school is the main important thing, especially when you're trying to go for your master's degree. So right now, I'm enjoying the pain to be able to enjoy the pleasure when it does come at a later time. When me and Mr. Montanez met, it was that point in time where I could no longer take anymore. I could no longer put up that void and have to deal with what Erica was giving to me. So I decided
I
to...
just don't understand what she was doing to you. You know, I mean, I went to graduate school. I got a doctorate in law. I didn't have anybody. I was alone in my apartment, you know, and took care of my business. I didn't have anybody supporting me. I mean, you know, other than... I don't understand why she's responsible for your educational efforts.
This is really just disgusting and sad that he is now putting his own issues that he has with himself onto her. Like the cheating thing, whatever. The fact that you're going outside and you're going and doing drag queen stuff and you're sleeping with this other man, like that's fine if that's what you want to do. But then the revealing tell here is that you are actually trying to explore yourself and figure out who you want to be. And you're not allowing her or inviting her into that conversation. And then when you do pursue it and then you get caught doing it, you blame it on her. This is not her fault. There's not a fault here. This is you choosing to explore who you are because you don't know what you want. And you can't take it anymore. And so you're going to go out and just do it. But you're unwilling to actually step up and be responsible and share the information with your partner. And instead of allowing her to make a decision for herself, you're then just stringing her along and being this like false hero because you're protecting her from some sort of lie. And then you go and blame it on her when you get caught. This dude literally is not doing this the right way. If you want to pursue this type of thing and get out of your relationship, then do that. Don't go and cheat, okay? And if you are lying about it, that tells me that you are still trying to love yourself. And I get it. It's hard to do that sometimes. But that's really the issue here.
I don't understand that.
She's not. It's not that I depend on Erica to financially support me because I've been there, done that. I've
No,
lived...
I'm not talking about finances. I'm talking about you seem to say that you weren't getting enough emotional support because graduate school is difficult, and their absence of emotional support from her led you into the arms of Mr. Montanez. And I'm saying to you, I never knew grad school to do that to people.
It wasn't the school that did it to me, Your Honor. It was the fact that with me trying to do everything in my power, she went ahead, and as far as our relationship, I found myself in a relationship with Erica throughout this time of being in school. And then at that point, with dealing with our drama, dealing with our stress, caused me to have the problems that I'm having now with the finances.
Mr. Thompson, I don't want to hear no more about that. Mr. Montanez, why don't you let me ask you this. What did he say to you about his relationship and his status when you two first started becoming intimate?
Well, Judge, when I first met Mr. Thompson, it started off as a friendship of sorts. There was some flirting. We did go out on several dates before he even brought up the conversation that he was currently in a relationship, but the relationship was depleting. He was very clear with me in stating that he had tried to save his relationship with Ms. Padilla, and unfortunately, he was at a crossroads where it was either his mental stability and his well-being or continue the relationship with her.
Okay. Mr. Montanez, thank you very much. You gave very cogent testimony here today, and I appreciate it. You have a good day.
Thank you. You too.
Thank you. Padilla, is this news to you? I understood it was not news to you that you knew
I had no
about
idea.
Mr. Montanez.
I had no idea. I didn't even know he was gay or bi or whatever he wants to be. This is just upsetting. And I don't understand because he keeps hitting me up. He keeps looking for me like he wants to be with me. And this...
Are you hitting her up? Are
Yes,
you talking?
Your Honor. We were
Why?
actually together last night.
Wow.
Mr. Thompson, let me say this to you. It is unfair to continue to have any kind of sexual relationship or emotional relationship with a woman when your heart is elsewhere. And I know you probably still have feelings for her, and I know it's probably satisfying to you, but what it is it's a lie to her, because when we do that, We think maybe it can happen again. Maybe we can get back together. And it's a continual lie that you're telling, that you're giving her the possibility of a tomorrow that we know that's not going to come. You've got to be honest with people. It's not fair to him. It's not fair to her. So you need to quit calling her up. You need to quit hitting her up. You most definitely need to quit sleeping with her. And Ms. Petit, you need to step forward, take your little beautiful face and hair, and walk out of here and find somebody who can love you for who you are. No more. And love you for who you are, and let this go. Sometimes women don't know when to let it go. I'm telling you, let it go. This matter is adjourned.
You guys, the judge said it perfectly. She's so right about this. You don't go around and explore who you want to be and then lie about it to your partner and then string your partner along during that process, then get caught, blame it on her, and then as it's all collapsing down, you continue to pull her in and enjoy her with a mattress polo session. This dude is just using people. I feel like she needs to go and get herself figured out, and hopefully she can, be safe and, move on from this guy. But I think he's really bad news because he's in a really sticky situation. I think at the end of the day, this is all stemming from him not loving himself, because he's going around and using other people, lying, he's pursuing things, cheating. He's only thinking about fulfilling himself rather than just loving himself and then moving forward and trying to move forward in that way. Because the moment you start loving yourself and understanding who you are and accepting who you are is the only way then that you can move forward in a healthy way and not hurt people along the way. So no matter who you're with, no matter who you want to be with, no matter who you want to kiss, touch, taste, I don't care. At the end of the day, you got to learn how to accept who you are, because otherwise you'll end up like this guy. And he's a prime example of not knowing what he wants to do with himself and is unsure about himself. And so he's just continuing to wreak havoc in other people's lives. And this is all too common. This isn't something that isn't, it only happens every once in a while. Like, I've heard many stories of how common this actually is. So I want to know your thoughts on this, guys. Do you agree that they should not be together? And what do you think about him doing this to her? Do you think that she's partially at fault for this? Or do you think he is just wreaking havoc no matter what, wherever he goes, and people need to watch out for him because he might, do the same thing to them? What do you guys think?